Hey, what's happening? Journeyman here, and welcome back to the Harry Kane team. So this is episode 7 of the series, and unfortunately things have not gone as well as I would have liked, and my job is seriously in jeopardy. So basically, the scenario is I have 5 games to win 9 points. So a team as good as us, coming up against a lot of teams in the. Basically, I think it's doable. I do, but unfortunately for me, I've lost the locker room, believe it or not. Literally, I've been playing this game now for 3 months in game, and I've already lost the locker room. So, not great, but we start off today on our road to recovery, as I'm going to call it from now on, with a game against Newcastle at St. James Park away from home. This is how we're going to line up for today's game. It's going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. We're going to stick with that. Lamela, Christian Eriksen, Mario Götze, Llorente, Winks, Dyer through the middle, Davis, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and Trippier at the back with Hugo Lloris in goal. So I've gone a little bit more defensive to just a counter-fluid system. I've basically started to take the advice of my assistant managers and my coaches on a system that we should play. And I've decided to go for this for now. Obviously, I haven't got very long to turn things around. So honestly, I really don't know what to do under this scenario. It's just not been a very good start, unfortunately. Up against a Newcastle team, there were a few good players in there. We want to keep an eye on. Ryan Babel was their big money signing over the summer. I think they paid, what did they pay? 8.75 million, which is actually a little bit of a bargain, to be honest with you. He's a very talented player still, and at 30 years old, he can definitely help out for a couple of years. They also have Matt Ritchie at right midfield. Very creative talent. Definitely a decent player. I've already scouted him as a potential player. Apparently, he's a very useful signing. Very creative player. Also a bit of a bulldog as well. I've seen him play a lot of heart, a lot of hustle. So anyway, going into today's game, obviously the morale of the team is pretty bad right now, and they're pretty unhappy with me. Number of promises, such as Dele Alli came to me, wanted the new contract, but he's barely played this season, not played very well, so I rejected that new contract, and unfortunately the whole squad came back and said you should offer him a new deal. So they're pretty peeved at me. I'm going to say I'm expecting a win today. This is a game that we should be winning pretty comfortably. Let's see, we got a tunnel talk here. How much boosted John Joe Sylvie absence to your chance of winning? So, any team would miss the player of the caliber. Yeah, why not? That'll do. How do you think the gap in just 3 days playing in Swansea could affect your players? These ones can be tough on the legs. That's a pretty good answer. So here we go at St. James Park. Obviously, our road to recovery starts today. As long as you put in a pretty solid performance, we should be able to get a pretty positive result. All right, early goings here. Newcastle on top. Here's Marino to Paul Domé. Here's Lejeune. Let's see what he can do here. Lays it back to Marino. Marino to Ryan Babel, cutting in from the left-hand side. Takes a shot. Ooh, that was a good effort. Now he passed to Hugo Lloris' right post. Here's Matt Ritchie. Going to whip this ball in at the back post. Pull back, and there's Diame, and it's blocked, and it looks like it's going to be cleared this time from Eric Dyer. And maybe a counter-attack opportunity is Llorente. Llorente cross-field ball to Eriksen. Eriksen steps over the tackle. That's Winks, and he scores. Harry Winks gets his first goal of the season, popping up at the near post, and a good cross from Christian Eriksen. And we are 1-0 up. And definitely it's been against the run of play. It's been majority of Newcastle so far, as you can see from these stats. Here's a chance for him to get back in this. Here's Diame. Pulls it back, and Lejeune gets a goal. Actually, Ryan Babel scored. I thought it was Lejeune. But anyway, it's 1-1. Disappointed to concede straight away from scoring ourselves. And if we look at the match stats in the middle, we are struggling right now. Matt Ritchie shoots and just puts it over the bar. Yeah, it's all Newcastle right now. Here's a chance for us, though. Eriksen's going to pull it to Lamela. Lamela to Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer plays Eriksen and found himself in the box. There's Götze. Oh, top of the crossbar from Mario Götze. Unlucky. Decent effort there from Super Mario. All right, here's Kieran Trippier. Plays the Mario Götze. Ball's whipped in. Cleared by Mbemba. Here's Dwight Gale. We know he's got plenty of pace. He drives at our back line. That's an easy save for Hugo Lloris. All right, got some bad news. Unfortunately, Lamela's picked up a knock and he's going to have to be taken off. So, in his spot, we are going to bring on Sissoko, and he's a bit more of an out-and-out winger. So what we'll do is we'll switch him to wing. Eriksen, yeah, we'll keep him there. Okay, so, yep, we'll roll with that just for now. We'll make Sissoko right winger for the remainder of the game. All right, so halftime whistle has gone. It is 1-1. And honestly, it's been all Newcastle United. We've only got one real chance. And lucky enough, Harry Winks put that chance away. So let's see. I've got to try and motivate these guys, because right now they haven't got my backs and they're not responding to a lot of my tactical changes, not responding to a lot of what I'm having to say in the locker room or team talks and things like that. So we have to turn things around quickly. So we got to be positive. We got to get morale up as quickly as we can. Here's Richie. He's going to put the ball in. Here's Mbemba, and that's Marino. And what a save that was from Hugo Lloris. Anyone that counted anyway, because whoever that was offside. All right, here's Lloris with a goal kick. Boots the ball long. Here's Llorente. He's been very quiet today. Bit of head pinball there. Ends up with Matt Ritchie on the right-hand side. Ritchie to Kurtic, to Diame, to Ryan Babel. Babel drives at the heart of our defense here. This is trouble, and it's a goal. Ryan Babel's second goal of the game. We highlighted him as a potential danger man, and Ryan Babel makes it 2-1 to Newcastle. All right, so bad news as well. Ericsson has now picked up a knock. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put two up top now. We're going to bring on Harry Kane, because honestly, I'm running out of ideas right now. So let's bring off Ericsson. Harry Kane will come on. We'll play Harry Kane as an advanced forward. Llorente can be as a target man on support. So hopefully those two can work well together. We'll keep Winks and Dyer in the middle with Sissoko, and go to hopefully create an opportunity to get back in this. All right, here's Paul Dumet to Ryan Babel. He got 2 goals today. Here's Marino to Diame. They've got far too much space in the middle of the park there. Here's Dwight Gale. Turned his man. He gets to the edge of the area. Good tackle there from Dyer, and the ball smashed over the bar from Matt Ritchie. But again, it's been on Newcastle. We haven't looked like we're in this, and honestly, it feels like my job is slipping away from me. Ball's the back post. There's Sissoko, and it goes off the crossbar. Unlucky for Musa Sissoko. Hasn't played much this season, and that was a decent opportunity to get back on level terms. All right, 72 minutes on the clock. I'm about to switch to an attacking mentality, unless we get a goal back here. Here's Winks at the edge of the area. Oh, unlucky from Harry Winks. Almost got a second goal of the game. Decent effort there from the young midfielder. All right, here's Goetze. Ball's whipped in the near post. Nobody was there. Goetze put it back in. Llorente. Oh, off the post again. We're starting to get back in this a little bit more now. So what we'll do is we're gonna push. We got to push for the issue, because obviously my job is on the line here. So we're gonna switch to attacking, increase the intensity bar, which is something new this year. All right, so 78 minutes on the clock. Here's Kurtic to Diame. Diame's got space. He gets in the box. Easy save from Hugo Lloris. All right, 79 minutes now. 80 minutes on the clock. So we got 10 minutes now to get an equalizer. Here's Manquillo to Ritchie. Ritchie to Kurtic. Kurtic to Ryan Babel. The former Liverpool man doing all the damage today. Here's Mitrovic to Paul Dumet. To Kurtic again. There's Diame to Ritchie. That's great football. And he puts it narrowly past the post. So it doesn't look like we're getting back in this. Maybe make a quick tactic change. Another one. I mean, I'm chopping and changing. I'm desperate to find anything that works. Because right now the players aren't responding to any of the changes I'm making. I mean, generally speaking, right, my tactics are usually pretty sound, but the Tottenham players just aren't reacting to them at all. There's a chance Matt Ritchie makes it 3-1 and it's game over. But yeah, usually my tactics will work for me, honestly. I mean, I'm not the greatest manager in the world. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm still like getting to grips with FM18, and I'm still learning every single day about different things you can do in Football Manager, how to improve yourself as a tactical manager. So I'm definitely nowhere near perfected, but I have a generally good grasp on tactics, and honestly, the Tottenham boys just aren't responding to me, and it's been a real uphill struggle, and that's put me in the situation where we are today, where it's basically going to come down to I've got to win 3 out of my next 4 games now in the league just to save my job. And obviously, I mean, this wasn't going to be a long-term save for me anyway. It was more to have a bit of fun, get to grips with like the new game and the new little modules and things like that, and just get a good feel for it before I start my main series, which is going to be obviously a Journeyman's Journey, which is going to be a Journeyman style save. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. So, but it's disappointing that this save is most likely going to finish before the 2-week beta period ended, and I really wanted to see this run all the way through. So it's kind of disappointing for me that it's kind of ended up being the way it is. And there's the full time whistle. 3-1 defeat. What are you going to do? Honestly, it's just, no matter what I say to the guys, it's gonna come out negative. But I'm far from pleased with what I saw. We shouldn't be losing 3-1 against Newcastle United. And I mean, I'll be surprised if they keep me on for these full 5 games. Usually when they make the ultimatum, you'll be kept on. Retrospectively, I guess, well, retrospectively, but honestly, prospectively, I kind of do deserve to get the sack. So, not really a surprise. I'm not throwing my hands up and giving up quite yet. We still have 4 games to save my ass. But unfortunately, these injuries mounting up now. Dele Alli's out, Lamella's out, Eriksen's now out, Dembele's going to be out as well. It just makes things more difficult for me. And honestly, a lot of the back too. I mean, yellow cards, just 1 game away suspension. So it's I don't know. These things aren't working out the way I wanted to. And another crazy news, Leicester have just sacked manager Claude Puel, who in real life just got the job less than a week ago. So kind of crazy news here in the FM18 world. All right, so here we go. A little bit of distraction away now from the disappointment in the league. We're up against Shakhtar Donetsk. Essentially, we've pretty much already guaranteed our spot in the next round, or at least the knockout round of the Champions League. We've got plus 5 goal difference over them, so as long as we don't get demolished, we should be okay to qualify in the next round. So, as far as Europe goes, it's actually going pretty well for me. As far as everything else goes, not so much. So this is the lineup we're going with today's game. Obviously, we know about our injuries and registration issues and stuff like that. As we can see from here, lots of injuries. Son's on international duty as well. He would no doubt would have started today. And Giuseppe Rossi, I didn't register him because I needed to register a more English talent. Unfortunately, those rules are a pain in the ass sometimes, and this is one of those situations. So, going into today's game, this is pretty much who we got to go with. Fellaini's going to play as a shadow striker. Llorente, I'm going to revert back to his typical role as a target man. So you're going to have 2 big guys in the middle there. So I'm going to change the team instruction again real quick. I'm going to look for early crosses rather than the overlap, just because we got 2 big guys in the middle. We should be able to take advantage physically up against the Shakhtar. So. All right, so let's get a win today. Let's try and get some positivity into the squad, just because it's just depressing right now. I'll be honest with you, there's nothing more to say about it. So this is going to line up. Götze is going to be on the left. Sissoko. Götze has been an absolute mitigated disaster of a transfer. Fellaini hasn't been very good either. £10 million. So basically, between the 2 of them, there's £70 million worth of talent there, and honestly, they've both been pretty disappointing this season. So, passionate team talk. Let's give the performance I expected. Hugo Lloris reacted very well to that. You continue to struggle unless Jessen's another defeat today. Might be your last as Tottenham manager. Haven't been able to prepare for this match with that sort of pressure on you. Honestly, I pay no attention to those rumours whatsoever. You left Harry Kane out as due to recent problems. Yes, it is. He's just been rested. The absence of Christian Eriksen should be felt. Hard it to be without his services. We look good in training. I'll give him the generic managerial bullshit answer that they all want. So here we go. Shakhtar Donetsk. Let's get a win today, and let's get some positivity back in this save, because otherwise this could be an absolutely unmitigated disaster, and hundreds of people are watching the disaster unfold. All right, so here's an early chance. Kovalenko to Bernard at the edge of the area. Here's Fred to Tayson, to Kovalenko, back to Bernard, who got the goal in the last game we played. The only goal of the game. That was a 1-0 defeat, by the way, in case you didn't get to catch that episode. Here's Fred. Fred is holding the ball there, and he gives it out wide to the left back. Here's Bernard again. Right now, we have like the perfect wall of centre halves. They're almost in synchronization. It's actually kind of scary. And that was a great effort there from Bernard, but it hits the other side of the bar and it's going to be easily cleared. So, long build-up for a decent effort, but kept it out, so that's good. All right, so here's Ben Davis to Fellaini. Fellaini. Oh, that's fucking terrible, isn't it? Here's Fred leading the counter-attack charge for Shakhtar. Tayson to Bernard again. He's got all the pace, shoots from distance, and it goes harmlessly wide. All right, so 20 minutes on the clock. We haven't yet to carve out a single opportunity. Here's Kovalenko. Maybe another chance for Shakhtar here. Eventually, they're going to take one of these. Here's Fred. Here's Bernard. Good tackle there from Toby. And Fellaini gives the ball away again, but he wins it back, so fair play to him. Here's Llorente to Mario Götze. That's a great ball. And Sissoko, decent effort. First chance of the game for us. Sissoko lashing the ball wide of his left foot. Coming in off that near flank. All right, so Cerner to Fred. Back to Petric. Back to Cerner again. Crossed into near post. That's a great challenge. But the ball falls back to Cerner and he puts the ball in the box, and that's a fantastic save. That has to go down as a clear-cut chance. Not sure who got on the end of it in the end, because honestly the graphics still kind of suck. It's really hard to tell A, what the ball is, and B, who each player is right now. So yeah, that's kind of my gripes right now with the graphical engine. Obviously there will be improvements as the season goes on, but it's a struggle. But anyway, speaking of struggles, we struggled again. We just haven't responded well at all. Let's say go back out there and grab a goal for us. Honestly, I'm a little lost for words on what I can say to motivate these guys, because whatever I've tried hasn't worked in my favor. But saying that, the usual tactics I use, it's going to be from Football Manager 2017, and this is a new game, so I'm still learning little nuances, the little tips, little tricks you can do to help build morale. Doesn't seem to be working here in this version of the game, at least in my experience. Here's Winks to Fellaini to Llorente, back to Dyer, Eric Dyer to Fellaini. Here's Sissoko, a very patient build-up play. Sissoko to Fellaini, dispossessed far too easily. But we keep the pressure on there. Good tackle there from Toby Alderweireld. Here's Fellaini to Agota coming in off the flank. Oh, that's a fantastic effort, and it goes onto the crossbar. Not sure if it was a good save or the crossbar, but nevertheless, decent effort for Mario coming in off the left flank. All right, so here's Fred on the ball now, turning to Bernard. Looking to Tayson, he finds him. Drifts inside, there's Petric, and that's another fantastic save from Hugo Lloris. If it wasn't for him today, the scoreline could have been 2 or 3-0 to Shakhtar. So, got to try and get a winner here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch to an attacking style. We're also going to change formations. Sorry, change playing style a little bit. We're going to go to wingers instead. Götze really isn't a winger, but we don't have many other options. All right, so confirm those changes. And all right, so we got 20 minutes to get something out of this game. I also might bring on a sub. Here's Kieran Trippier. Decent effort, but it goes over the bar. All right, so Harry Kane is on the bench. We could play him. He is fit to go. So actually, I'm going to do that. I might as well. So instead of Harry, I'm going to play him as an advanced forward. That's his preferred role. And we've really missed him since he's been injured. Obviously, he opened the season on fire, scoring 7 goals in 10 appearances. So we definitely missed him up top. Yeah, and that's part and parcel of kind of what happened too. He stopped scoring goals with him out of the team. All right, so here's Fred looking for a late winner for Shakhtar. Here's Tayson to Stepenko, and that's a decent effort, but put wide of Hugo Lloris' left post. All right, here's Bernard on the ball again. Here's another chance for Shakhtar. Bernard, that's a good effort, and hits it over the bar. All right, another change being made here. Eric Dyer is struggling to finish out this game, so like-for-like swap with Victor Wanyama. And we also could bring off Ben Davis and bring on Danny Rose. Might as well. Looks like this is increasingly like it's going to end up a 0-0 draw. All right, Trippier throws into Wanyama. Sissoko pulls it back, but nobody was there. Danny Rose does pick up the loose ball, though, and the attack is over. Just like that. All right, so 20 seconds left on the clock. Can we cravelate an opportunity? Doesn't look like it. It's looking increasingly like it's going to be a draw here at home to Shakhtar. Oh, let's go. Oh, I can't believe that. I thought that was going to creep in at the near post, but the ball somehow landed onto the post and almost got a winner late on there. A winner we desperately need. So here's Mario Götze shoots, and that pretty much sums up his effort for the season thus far. Just one big disappointment. So, full time whistle's gone, 0-0 draw, and very tough. performance to take. I'm going to leave my talk to the assistant manager because that's all I can think about, all I can think to do right now, to be honest with you, because I've tried pretty much everything. So I'm basically just waiting for notification saying I've been fired. And we haven't got it quite yet, but we did qualify to the first knockout round of the Champions League. So that's something a little positive. That's something we've achieved so far out of this season. Doesn't really count for much because it's unlikely that I'm still going to be around for those Champions League knockout round. But you never know. We could go on a little bit of a run now. Maybe that draw is going to breed a little bit of confidence going into the next episode, which is going to be up against West Brom and Crystal Palace. Yep, so that'll be the next episode. We'll go straight, because obviously we now only have 4 games to go to try and get 9 points, which basically means we've got to win 3 out of our next 4. Draws aren't good enough, and obviously we can't really afford to lose any more games. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the series despite the unmitigated disaster that it's turned into. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos by me in the future, please hit subscribe, turn notifications on, and see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.